Abstract science is the best sound. We know sound test, anything test. Abstract science are the number one.
Producer Drew Lussman got his start in New Haven, Connecticut, making California rolls at a high-end sushi bar, moonlighting in bands, and maintaining a healthy lack of interest in traditional career paths. A love affair with UK electronic music that ranged from the twisted IDM of Aphex Twin to the lush, jazzy broken beats of acts like Four Hero inspired him to dive full-on into making his own unique brand of dance music as FaltyDL. With 3 albums to his name, including this year's Hard Courage for Ninja Tune Records, Lussman has reached a new level in his career. In demand as a remixer, and fresh off a coast-to-coast tour with British bass crooner James Blake, the easygoing 30-year-old sat down with Abstract Science to chat music, life in New York, and the evolution of FaltyDL.
My career is not just a couple big singles. I think I've released 3 albums, another double pack, and about 20 singles, and about 50 remixes, and I'm always writing more music. And I think it's just been a slow, sort of gradual over the last 4 years build. So I don't think anything has felt like it's ever been too much of a big leap for me. Everything has felt like the logical next progression. There's been sort of like setting baby steps and like small like goals, and we're not small, but goals in front of me, realistic ones, and achieving them, which feels really good. You know, if I woke up tomorrow and all of a sudden someone like Kanye had been, I don't know, blogging about my music overnight or talking about it, and it just, you know, got me to this like level, I think that would feel very unnatural and kind of like I'm not ready for something like that or whatever. But if things happen in over like a period of time that I'm comfortable with, I'm much more cool with that. At the moment that I release something, someone, usually a journalist, is going to put a label on it in a helpful way, not always in a bad way at all, in a great way sometimes. And the moment that I feel like that's been done, whether it's with a good connotation or bad, I feel like I need to do something different right away. It's just this thing inside of me. It's like, oh, I don't want anyone to be able to put any label on me, even if it's a correct one or a good one.
Sure.
So I think that's what's kept me moving in lots of different directions over the years. But another thing that happens is that when the album comes out, it's always the product of, in my experience, like I've had a lot of creative control because I'm not on a major label, but there's usually other A&R guys at the label and the head and friends and stuff that all put in their input and help you with the track listing and stuff. So what comes out ends up being, it's so much more work than just putting together 10 tracks, you know what I mean? And then when you release the album, it's all these different bonus tracks and different parts that go to different territories and mixes and stuff, and you beat that horse to death. And by the time it's come out, it's just like, oh yeah, let's just do the next one now.
As electronic music continues to thrive in the US, the West Coast has claimed much of the American bass music scene for its own. But Lussman makes it clear that his adopted home of New York City still plays its part as a global bass destination, and of course, much more.
I mean, it's still New York. I mean, all these people from London, when they come over, they play in New York. Ben
Right.
Defoe was just there. The whole Hessel Audio was just there, like last week, playing this new club. Then they're building one of 2 new clubs that are, one's done, the other one's almost done. These huge function 1 rooms with like 700-person capacities in Brooklyn. Like, yeah, lots of people going out. So there are these venues for it, absolutely. And everyone's always coming through. But as far as those of us that still live there, yeah, I definitely have some colleagues in the scene. But what's more interesting to me though is the parties that are bringing in like Lit City. Is this party that's like happens at least once a month in some Bushwick loft or 285 Kent, this like kind of gross sweaty loft where they bring in their own sound, and it's like Total Freedom from LA and like DJ Rashad from Chicago and Mike Q, doing voguing sets from New Jersey, and then Aziza man, Jake Cush, the guy who runs it, he plays all over the map. He plays some hip hop and he plays some footwork and stuff like that too. Then my friend Dave Q is throwing this party called Twist Up. He was actually the first guy in New York to really bring in, or one of the first parties to really bring in the footwork DJs and stuff. So like, there's so much bubbling at the very beginning level. And it kind of becomes this precious thing, and you don't want everyone to go to one, but you do. I mean, nothing ever from that level really gets destroyed by overexposure in New York when it's like really dirty underground music, and it takes years. Like, I mean, it takes a disclosure in that act to sort of expose it to that level.
It's a tired cliche, and yet for some, success still isn't always what it's cracked up to be. Lussman battles with the straining lifestyle that greater recognition has brought with it. His secret to coming out on top? Stay positive and take it one day at a time.
You know, I try and do a good job of not reading reviews and Googling my name and Twitter and all that stuff, but after last night's show, someone tweeted like, I'd rather watch paint dry than watch FaltyDL album for a show, missed opportunity. And that's my fear, is like, am I not taking full advantage of situations like this? But at the same time, I absolutely hate touring. I have a real separation anxiety from home, in my production studio, and my girlfriend and my friends, and my family. So I'm always trying to figure out in this constant battle of what is the balance. So I just want to be home and just really try and produce, but I gotta make a living, and there's a lot of money in going out and doing shows, and I need to do that. What's more important? I've also been partying every night for 2 weeks, and like after a while, that's much. That's not who I am at home, you know? It's like, just trying to get to sleep on the bus. Yeah, it's a trip, and it's all just anxiety management for me. It's all anxiety management and self-regulation with that, and trying to remain like I feel like I'm grounded, but at the same time, my ego does enjoy it, you know? I mean, one thing I said that I look back and I can't believe I had the foresight to say that when I was younger was that like all this touring and releasing records and because I'm not making millions of dollars doing it, I better be learning something about what I'm doing, like learning something along the way. And I'm just gathering data about myself and about the way I interact with other people and relationships and friendships and professional relationships, and how I take on the task of getting in front of 1,500 people who are not there to see me. You know what I mean? So, just trying to figure it all out. Hopefully not get into too many arguments along the way. This is FaltyDL, and you're listening to Abstract Science on WLUW 88.7 FM.